Hey, hi everyone, welcome back. So, as part of the previous session, we have seen how exactly we can use an URL based assertion and as well as a title based assertion. So, today we will be checking whether the element is visible or not. Hence, I copied the previous test, I pasted a new test where in which I just placed out one locator. Okay, one locator, which this locator here is pointing to username text field. And the point here is I just want to check it out whether this particular element is visible or not. Okay, in order to check whether this particular element is visible or not, I'm just storing it in a constant username text field is equal to. Okay, constant username text field is equal to await expect. So what you are expecting right now for the username text field, okay, for the username text field to be visible. So I just want to check it out whether this particular field is visible or not. That's the only thing that I want to check it out on that particular application. Okay, perfectly all right. So, what are we gonna do right now? So, we just stored it and we are doing it in this way. The another way that we can do out over here is so await, expect. So, here page dot locator. Okay, so page dot locator. So, what I'm gonna do right now, I just wanna give my username text field and then to be visible, either the things basically, guys. Okay, to be visible, so which means either you can store that information into a constant, the page locator into a constant, and check whether it is visible, or this one, either of these things are right. Okay, this is used to check whether a particular element is visible in this particular page or not. Let me try to run this particular test and check it out whether it is visible or not. See, the script executed successfully. The reason is the username text field is displaying on the browser. Not only visible, there are some more options like to check whether it is hidden or not. Okay, to check whether it is hidden or not. So here, instead of visible, so I'm just checking whether it is hidden or not. So which means this object should be in a hidden state. If you go to the browser and check it out, this is not in a hidden state. Okay, this is not, of course, in a hidden state. And if you remember, guys, yesterday when we were talking about the assertions, one is a general assertion and another is a locator based assertion. The locator based assertion will wait for 5 seconds and then it will throw an exception. See here, it waited for 5 seconds and then it returned as it's not matching. Okay, that's it. So here, this is not a hidden. The username field is not a hidden, right? So this is about how exactly we can check whether it is a hidden or not. And along with that, we can also check. So let me get this one, whether this particular element is enabled in the browser or not. I can check whether this particular element is enabled and also whether this particular element is disabled or not. We can check it. So definitely this element is an enabled and this element is not a disabled. Hence, disabled will be failed. So when I run this particular program, enabled will be passed, of course, for sure, and it will fail. See here, enabled, it took 16 milliseconds to execute it, whereas for the disabled, it returned as a failure. Okay, whereas for disabled, it returned as a failure. Okay, perfectly all right. So this is the way how exactly you can check whether the element is visible or not visible, whether it is enabled to perform the actions or not. All these things we have seen as part of this example. So let us take one more test file here. So within the same spec on the same application itself. So copy this, put it back here, and this time further about test, just comment it out. Okay. See, guys, why Surendra you are commenting it? Nothing specific reason. Whatever the things that you are working on, you can just go with it. Ideally, what you can do is, as and when we are copying and pasting a multiple tests here, make sure that you are giving a unique name for that. That's it. Okay. If at all, until and unless we are giving a unique name, that won't be a problem at all for us. Okay, perfectly all right. So here to check whether this particular username field is present or not. Okay, whether this particular username field is present or not. So here username text field, the simple thing that we are using here is to have a count, and this count is a 1, which means that this element should display on a browser, and the count it's gonna be just 1. Okay, of course, as it's verifying that, and its count is a 1, hence the script executed successfully. Okay, hence the script executed successfully. Perfectly all right. And then the next type of an assertion that we can do out over here is, let me come back to my browser, open the sourcedemo.com. For the same username field, if you observe here, this have a placeholder, and the placeholder value is a username. So I just want to cross check whether this particular element is having a specific attribute or not. So here what I'm gonna do right now, to have attribute. So which attribute you want to verify? I want to verify the placeholder. I just want to verify the placeholder. What is the value for that particular placeholder? The value for that placeholder is the username. So what we are doing, we are asking it to check whether this particular element is having a placeholder attribute, and that too, that placeholder should be of this particular value. The assertion is right, perfectly all right. The script got executed successfully. And the last assertion that we are going to see out over here is, consider the login button. Okay, consider the login button. So the login button is having a text as a login, right? The login button is having a text as a login. So here, constant login button is equal to. Okay, so here await expect, okay, await expect on the login button. So what we are gonna do right now on the login button, simply to have a text, this login button should have this particular text, which is a login. That's it. That's what I was just asking it to do. Okay, so when I run this particular program, when I run this particular program, it will validate whether the login is having this particular text or not. Not only a positive having a text, we can also have another thing, which is negation of this one, not to have this Surendra text. Check whether this login button is not having Surendra in it. Perfectly all right. So when I run this particular program, it will execute it, and it will make sure the test is passed. The reason is this is not having a text as a Surendra. So this is the way how exactly we can add assertions to your program. These are the various assertions. There are a couple more assertions are there that we will be studying moving further whenever it is required. Okay, perfectly all right. See you again in the next session. Thank you.